Her name was Betty. In 1998, she danced at her granddaughter's wedding at 93. She had never set foot in a gym. The fitness industry has sold you something new every decade of your life. She needed none of it. Somewhere between her generation and ours, someone figured out there was real money in replacing what she knew for a monthly fee. 10 habits that kept women slim and toned before any of that existed. Everyone free. Everyone abandoned the moment it stopped being profitable to teach. Number 7 is what Jack LaLanne taught millions of American housewives to do in their living rooms before breakfast. Number 1 explains why women in the 1950s never needed a gym and never thought to want one. Let's get into it. Number 10. Before the coffee was finished brewing, she was already outside. Not a run. Not a power walk with hand weights and a heart rate monitor. A walk 20 minutes around the neighborhood in a pair of flat shoes. Before the children were up. Before the day had any demands on it. She did not call it exercise. She called it getting some air. She did it because her mother did it, and her mother's mother did it, and every woman on her street did it. And it was simply the thing you did before the day began. The milkman waved. The neighborhood was quiet. The radio was still on in the kitchen. Walking before breakfast pulls from stored fat rather than food calories. The body uses what it has. Done 5 mornings a week, it kept the waistline exactly where she left it the year before. No gym clothes, no warm-up routine, flat shoes and the front door. She was back inside before the percolator finished. The day had not started yet and she was already done. She did it in January and she did it in August. The walk did not change with the weather. The consistency, not the intensity, not the duration, just the consistency, was the whole mechanism. The waistline stayed because the walk stayed. Number 9. In the early 1950s, the average American housewife was on her feet for most of the day. Not walking for exercise. Walking because the laundry was in the basement and the ironing was upstairs, and the children needed lunch, and the kitchen floor needed mopping. She carried, lifted, scrubbed, wrung, swept, and climbed stairs from 7 in the morning until 8 at night. And at no point did she consider herself to be working out. The wringer washer in the basement, the wet sheets carried up the stairs and out to the line, the floors scrubbed on hands and knees with a brush and a bucket of hot water and spick and span. A morning of real housework burns more than 45 minutes on a treadmill. She knew this without knowing the number. The house was clean and she was tired and she was slim. And those 3 facts arrived together every day without anyone needing to explain the connection. Number 8. While she waited for the water to boil or the dishes to soak, she pressed her palms flat against the edge of the sink, pushed, held for 10 seconds, released, and repeated. No movement, no equipment, no gym. A different hold every day, pressing the counter, gripping the chair back, pressing the palms together at chest height. Isometrics had been standard in physical education programs since the 1940s. The kind of thing gym teachers taught girls in high school and women carried with them afterward, without thinking of it as anything special. What she understood, without anyone prescribing it, was that the kitchen was full of surfaces you could push against while dinner was cooking. She did not need a dedicated 10 minutes. She needed the kettle to boil, and she was going to be standing there anyway. The grip on the chair back while the percolator ran, the wall push while the children got their shoes on. 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, running through the morning without a single dedicated minute set aside for any of it. By the mid-1950s, exercise physiologists had confirmed what coaches and physical therapists already knew. A sustained contraction against a fixed surface builds strength as reliably as movement, sometimes more so. Women's magazines translated the research into kitchen instructions. The Army had been using isometrics for rehabilitation for years. She did not need the magazine. She already had the kitchen. The fitness industry cannot monetize a wall. It cannot put a door frame or a sink edge on a monthly subscription. So the exercise that requires nothing, no floor space, no equipment, no appointment, was quietly set aside while something more profitable was invented to replace it. Number 7, Jack LaLanne and the living room workout. In 1951, a 36-year-old fitness instructor from San Francisco went on television and spoke directly to the American housewife. His name was Jack LaLanne. His show aired at 7 in the morning. He wore a belted jumpsuit, he smiled at the camera, and he said, "You can do this right here, in your living room, in your house dress, before your husband leaves for work." She moved the coffee table aside. She followed along, jumping jacks, leg raises, standing twists, deep knee bends. 15 minutes. She did not own a single piece of equipment. She had the television, the living room floor, and Jack LaLanne looking at her like he actually believed she could do it. When the show went national in 1959, it reached an estimated 10 to 12 million viewers. Most of them were women, alone in their living rooms before breakfast, moving their bodies before the day asked anything of them. No membership required, no gym to drive to. The television was already in the living room. Number 6, the hula hoop. In the summer of 1958, Wham-O sold 25 million hula hoops in 4 months. Every backyard in America had one. Every woman and girl who picked it up discovered the same thing. 10 minutes of keeping a hoop in orbit around your waist is hard, sweaty, specific work. It requires rhythm and balance, and continuous adjustments the whole body is making without the mind telling it to. And it is genuinely difficult to stop before you have done enough. She kept the hoop in the garage. On a warm evening after dinner, while the children played in the yard, she would pick it up and spin it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. She did not think of it as a workout. It cost $1.98. The machine at the gym designed to work the same muscles costs $3,000 and takes up half a room. If your mother had any of these habits, if you are watching this and thinking, yes, she did that, hit the like button right now. Because that woman is exactly who I am making this channel for. Then stay. Because number 1 is why she never needed a gym and never thought to want one. And it is the one thing the fitness industry still does not want you to understand. Number 5, social dancing. Every Friday or Saturday night she danced. In the early 1950s, social dancing was not optional. It was how you spent an evening. The church hall, the American Legion, a neighbor's living room with the furniture pushed back and Perry Como on the record player. She knew how to do it because her parents had taught her, the same way they taught her to set a table. She danced every Friday for 30 years, 2, sometimes 3 hours. The foxtrot, the waltz, the lindy, she never counted it as exercise. It was the weekend, and the weekend had its own logic. The distinction mattered to her. It should matter to us. 2 to 3 hours of the foxtrot and the lindy is hard physical work, the kind that leaves you genuinely tired without ever feeling like punishment. You cannot slouch through a partner dance. The body has to be upright, responsive, present. Balance and coordination engage muscles that no stationary machine can reach, because no stationary machine requires you to respond to another person in real time. She learned to dance at 14. Her mother taught her in the kitchen one Saturday afternoon. By the time she was old enough to go out, she already knew every step. Dancing was not an activity you enrolled in. It was something you inherited, the way you inherited a pie recipe or a way of setting a table. The American fitness industry never found a way to sell this. You cannot trademark a partner dance. You cannot package the church hall on a Saturday night and charge monthly for it. So it faded. The dances stopped, The halls became something else, and 2 hours of full body movement per week disappeared from her life without anyone filing a report. Nobody sent her a letter about it. She just stopped dancing, and the world kept moving. Number 4, the daily dozen. Long before aerobics, before Pilates, before any branded system with a DVD and a meal plan, there was the daily dozen. Walter Camp, yes, the football coach, developed 12 simple calisthenics during the First World War. The Army published them. Schools taught them. By the 1950s, women's magazines had adapted them into morning routines with illustrations and instructions. 12 movements, 12 repetitions each, no equipment needed. Arm circles, toe touches, trunk twists, side bends, a standing back extension. Movements the body already knew how to do, done deliberately in sequence for 15 minutes. She kept a clipped page from Ladies' Home Journal on the back of the bathroom door. Some women did it in their nightgown before the shower. Some did it after the children left for school. The routine took 15 minutes. It kept the spine flexible, the posture straight, and the waist narrow without a single machine. Number 3, yoga from a blue book. In 1953, a Russian-born yoga teacher named Indra Devi published a book called Forever Young, Forever Healthy. It became a bestseller and introduced American women to yoga a full decade before it became fashionable. The women who read it were not interested in spirituality or flexibility as a concept. They were interested in the fact that the photographs showed women over 40 with long, smooth muscles and excellent posture, and the exercises could be done on the bedroom floor in 10 minutes before breakfast. She ordered the book from a mail-order catalog. She dog-eared 3 pages and did those 3 pages every morning for 20 years. She did a forward fold, a seated twist, and a gentle back bend. She called it her morning stretches, and she had a long back, a calm manner, and she wore her dresses well into her 60s. Number 2, the garden. This one has no brand name, no television program, no price. Every woman who had a yard had a garden, and every garden required her to kneel, lift, carry, dig, pull, and crouch for 2 to 4 hours, 3 seasons of the year. She ordered her seeds from the Burpee catalog in February, and by May, she was outside. Every Saturday morning from May to September, she came inside with dirt on her knees and a basket of green beans and a tiredness in her whole body that was not the tiredness of stress. It was the tiredness of having done something real. She slept well. She ate well. She never thought to count any of it. That was the point. Everything on this list so far was physical. A walk, a hoop, a dance, a garden. Number 1 is different. It's not a habit. It's the reason every habit on this list worked. And once you understand it, you're going to see exactly why we lost the whole thing. Number 1, the movement philosophy. This is not an exercise. It is the reason every other item on this list worked. She did not separate movement from life. It never occurred to her to. The walk was not a workout. It was getting some air. The housework was not cardio. It was the house needing to be clean. The dancing was not cross-training. It was Friday night. The garden was not resistance training. It was dinner in August. The fitness industry sells separation. It tells you that real movement only counts if it happens in a dedicated block of time, in dedicated clothes, with dedicated equipment, tracked by a dedicated device. Everything else does not count. She did not know this rule and therefore could not follow it. Movement was woven into every hour of her day, invisibly, because that was how a day was supposed to be structured. The same woman existed at 50 who had existed at 30, wearing the same size, moving through the same life, and never once thinking of herself as someone who exercised. That was the system. We forgot it. We paid $40 a month to replace it with something that requires willpower instead of habit, and it has never worked as well. No membership, no trainer, a walk before the coffee finished. The furniture moved aside for Jack LaLanne, a hula hoop in the garage for $1.98. None of it required a decision every morning. It It required a life structured so that movement was already inside it, and once it was inside it, it stayed there. 2 questions. First, did any of this look familiar? Your mother's morning walk, a hula hoop in the backyard, a clipped page on the bathroom door. Tell me which one she had. Second, which one are you putting back into your week? Leave both in the comments. I want to know. If this one found you at the right moment, subscribe and hit the bell. There's more where this came from. I'll see you in the next one.